So three-row SUVs seem to be kind of everywhere today. You know, you have all the mainstream stuff. You have the Toyota Highlander, the Ford Explorer, the Honda Pilot. But then you have the outliers, which is one of the cars I'm sitting in right now. This is a 2019 Dodge Journey GT. And if you're looking for a three-row SUV, is this one to get, or should you steer clear? Because you got to keep in mind that this car hasn't been redesigned fully since 2008. So this is a very, very old architecture. But let's go ahead and check it out and see what this car is all about. Sup guys, IG Squad here. This is the first IG Squad car review I'm doing in now over 2 years, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm inside a 2019 Dodge Journey GT. I've never reviewed any Dodge products, so I'm pretty excited. So what I want to know is this car really worth it in 2021? I know this one is a 2019, but it's basically been the same car since 2008. So I think we should take a look at what this car offers over the competition, because realistically it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but I guess let's just check it out. So let's go ahead and take a walk around and see what this car is all about. Okay, so starting up at the front of the car, you can see that this car is very old school. So we have full-on halogen headlights with incandescent turn signals, incandescent high beams, and your incandescent fog lights. And I do like the how they did update it with the newer style Dodge grille, but overall this car just feels a very, very old school. So not a huge fan of how this looks from the front end. I think it looks a little nicer than some of the three-row SUVs, but I almost confused it for a Grand Caravan many times, and that's not what you really want to have as a stigma on your three-row SUV. So when you move over to the side profile, honestly, I don't think this car looks that bad. It kind of has some Durango vibes to the side profile. You do have these pretty nice looking 18-inch alloy wheels. I don't know, are these 18s? I don't know. I think these are 18-inch wheels. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I think this car looks pretty nice from the side profile. And this color actually doesn't look that bad. So this color overall is known as granite, and like I said, I don't think it looks all that bad. I think it actually does have a nice looking color to it, and you know, I kind of like darker colors on my cars, so yeah. And then coming around to the rear here, I do like how they updated it with these nice looking LED taillights, but overall it's a very basic look from the rear end. And I don't know, some people might like it. Personally, I'm not a huge fan, but it's fine. So yeah, but let's take a look at the rest of the car. Okay, so before we actually hop in and start up the car, let's go ahead and take a look underneath the hood. All right, taking a look underneath the hood here, we have the traditional Chrysler 3.6 liter Pentastar V6. It makes about 283 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque, which is actually pretty impressive. And considering that this SUV supposedly only weighs about 2,500 pounds, performance numbers actually may not be that bad for this car. So yeah, I think that's pretty impressive. So yeah, not bad. All right, so now let's go ahead and hop inside the car and start it up. So taking a look at the key fob, it's your typical Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram key fob in the last couple of years. Nothing too special here, but you do have your lock, lock, remote start, and your panic button. Let's actually go ahead and do the remote start real quick. So all I have to do is just lock the vehicle and press this twice. And there you go. Just like that. Seems simple enough. And then to hop inside the vehicle, you do have smart key access. So all you have to do, you can just keep the key fob in your pocket or purse. And to lock the vehicle, all you have to do is just press that button. And to unlock it, just touch behind the door handle and your car is unlocked. And that you can do that on the passenger side door handle as well. And then once you hop in, you'll be greeted by a black leather interior with red contrast stitching, which I think is exclusive to the GT model. And I think it actually looks pretty decent. And you do have a power driver's seat with 4-way power lumbar, but a manual recline, which is very, very interesting. I don't know why they do that. And once you hop inside the car, you're greeted with what I personally think is a pretty outdated and just a very old style interior. Now, I don't think it looks horrible. I do like how the GT model does have this nice 8.4-inch Uconnect touchscreen, but for the most part, it does feel very old in here. Now, you do have push button start. All you have to do is just keep the key fob in the interior. You can keep it in your pocket, purse, or just somewhere inside the vehicle. And all you have to do is just put your foot on the brake and push the button to fire it up. So you do have a full leather wrapped steering wheel with red contrast stitching. And then coming to your transmission, you do have a 6-speed automatic, very typical old style Chrysler transmission. Throw it into reverse here. You do have a very, very poor resolution reverse camera. You do have guidance lines, but no trajectory, believe it or not. And I don't believe you have rear parking sensors either. And I will go ahead and turn on the lights as well as the hazards. And we will go ahead and take a look at the exterior of the car. Give you a couple more angles. Driver and front passenger window are fully automatic in the Journey. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the exterior of the car. And once you step out and shut the door, the car should start beeping, saying that there is no key fob detected. Yeah, you can see key fob has left the vehicle. I believe these exterior mirrors are heated. Surprisingly, no turn signal indicators on this mirror at all. And like I said, when you come up front, you will be greeted by your very old style halogen headlights with your incandescent turn signal bulbs and your halogen fog lights. So very old school front end. And then coming around to the rear, you do have LED taillights with incandescent turn signals and incandescent reverse lights. So yeah, there you go. You do have all your basic power stuff. You have your power door locks, your power windows, power mirrors, and your child safety locks. Chrome interior door handles. So the build quality in this interior is okay. It's not great. So you do have this hard touch sort of upper door panel. It doesn't feel all that cheap. Well, it does have a little bit of scratchy plastic feel to it. The mid door and armrest panels are soft to the touch, which they do feel quite nice, very soft padded. The dashboard for the most part is this sort of soft touch, but also sort of hard touch material, so it is a little bit scratchy, but it does feel decent. Airbag cover is nice and soft touch. You kind of do actually have decent materials in this car. Center console here, with this console area, is hard touch plastic, but not that surprising considering the shift boot's right here. Let's go and get a couple revs in, see how this V6 sounds. Actually doesn't sound too bad. So coming to your steering wheel, very typical kind of old school Dodge steering wheel design. You do have your controls for your information center display, which I will get to in a little while. And you also do have your Bluetooth phone controls and your voice recognition. Let's test out the voice recognition here. Tune to FM 96.1.
Switching to FM radio.
Let's give that another shot here. Tune to 96.1 FM.
Tuning to 96.1 FM.
Okay, so not all that bad. Could be a lot worse. And then over here you do have your cruise control, and behind the steering wheel you do actually have your you can use this, I don't know how you can see, but you do have controls back here for the steering wheel, or you can use that to control your radio. And then back here you do have another set of controls for volume. And then coming back here, you do have your stock for pretty much everything. So you have your intermittent wipers, I can't speak. You also do have your rear windshield wiper. And then you also do have your high beams, which go back, and your blinkers. Which are tap 2, 3. Coming to your gauge cluster, very traditional, old school style looking gauge cluster. So right here you do have your tachometer and your coolant temperature. And then right here you do have your speedometer and your fuel gauge. And then you do have a center screen in the middle of the gauge cluster here, which shows you different vehicle information. So it shows you what radio station is playing. You have your fuel economy tab, which shows you your distance till empty and your average fuel economy, averaging 16.7 miles per gallon, which isn't that great. You have your speedometer, which is in kilometers per hour. Not sure why. Yeah, we want to change that to miles per hour. There we go. And then you have your trip info, which shows you just how long your vehicle has been running. No, it hasn't been running for that long. Since the last reset. You have your tire pressure monitor, which is nice to have. Don't have that in my car, actually. You have your oil pressure, your transmission temperature, engine hours, your coolant temperature, your oil temperature, and back to your oil pressure. And then you have your warning messages, and you can turn that off if you would like. Coming to your climate controls, very simple, very easy to operate. You do have your temperature controls right here, which does show up on the screen. You do have dual zone automatic climate control, which is nice to have. But you do have your heat and cooling right there. And then you have your fan speeds right there. And you can also control all of this from the Uconnect system, which is nice. You do have a climate tab, and you actually do have to control your different zones through that screen, which is fine, but not great. And then right here, you do have your hazard lights, your AC on-off button, your recycling or your recirculating mode, your front and rear defrosters, and your traction control off button, which seems like a bit of an odd place for it, but all right. So coming to your Uconnect system, it is a bit of an older style Uconnect system. They just released a brand new system for the new 2021 Durango, also for the Chrysler Pacifica, and a bunch of other Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram models. But this system is fine. It's definitely usable in 2021. So you do have your AM radio, you have your FM, your satellite radio, which is nice to have. And you do have a direct tune feature, so I can just direct tune. Okay, so this one doesn't actually have that available. But the touch response is actually pretty good in this car. It's definitely good enough. Again, you do have that direct tune feature for your for FM and AM. You can browse your different channels right here, and you have your audio settings right there. And you do have your media player, so you actually do have a disc drive in this car. Believe it or not, this is a 2019 vehicle with a disc drive, which is quite interesting. And again, you do have your audio settings right there, and you can change your source to Bluetooth. This car does have Bluetooth, USB, SD card, and aux. You also do have your seat controls, so you can turn the screen off. And you also do have your heated seats and your heated steering wheel, which is quite nice. It's nice to have a heated steering wheel in this car, although it doesn't have cooled seats. I feel like if you have a heated steering wheel, you have to have cooled seats, but whatever. Not a huge deal. Doesn't seem to be working right now, though. Not sure why. Probably because the car's not on. That'd help. And then you also do have your rear outlet that you can turn on and off, which is quite nice. You do have a full rear outlet, which is actually really nice. And then coming to your climate tab, you can change all of your climate settings from here. So you have your max AC, your recirculating mode, you can change the rear climate from here. You can lock out the rear climate, which is nice. You do have all that you can change right here. And you also do have your fan speeds, which you can turn up just like that. You can sync them right here, and then you have to change your different modes through here as well. So that's that. And then you do have your phone. So you do have a Bluetooth phone connection in this car, so you can, of course, take calls from here. This car does not have Apple CarPlay, I believe, since it's an older Uconnect system. I don't think it supports it. But you do have your dial pad, your messaging, your phone book, all that stuff. And then coming to your settings, you have pretty much everything in here. So you have your display settings, which, you have auto mode for how the display looks. You have your language, which I'm not going to mess with that. You have your units. You can change to the US and metric. Touchscreen beep. Then you have your accessibility settings. You can read back the main cabin. You have your clock settings, so you can change it to 12 hours and 24 hours. You can set the time right from there. You have your light settings, so your headlight off delay, your daytime running lights, and your flashlight, your lamps with the lock. You have your door lock settings, so you have passive entry. Your first press of key fob unlocks all doors or driver door. Sound horn remote start. You can change all that stuff, which is quite nice. You do have your auto on and remote start. You also do have your Bluetooth and your Sirius setup from here. And yeah, that's about it. Down here you do have your fuse box. You do have your light controls right here, which does have automatic headlights and your panel dimming. You can also turn on your lights from there. Your overhead lights, you just switch it up one. There you go. So, kind of nice. And then coming up here, you do have a sunglass container with a mirror. Hey, yes, I am filming this on my phone. I forgot my my tripod, my quick release plates, and of course you do have your LED map lights. I remember having these old style ones in an old Volkswagen Rutan of mine. And you do have your, what I believe is a manual dimming rearview mirror, not exactly sure. You do have air vents right here. The glove box in this car is, well, it's decent. It does go down nice and slowly, which is nice. Not lined with felt, but that's not a huge surprise. But yeah, at least it doesn't, like, slam down. So, that's nice. So yeah, I think that's it for the interior. Let's go ahead and power the car down. And we'll go ahead and check out the back seats and the trunk space. All right, climbing into the back seats here. The materials do carry through quite nicely to the rear end, so you do have all the soft touch materials back here. And once you climb in back here, shut the door, you will see that legroom and room inside the back seat is actually not too bad from the second row here. I do have quite a bit of legroom. I'm not sure. I'm kind of sitting behind my driving position at about 5'6". So yeah, I am pretty short, but you do have your 12-volt power socket, and you also do have a full 115-volt power outlet back here, which is quite nice. Kind of a staple of Chrysler. You also do have a rear center armrest with cup holders and some storage, or not. You know what? I don't think it has storage. That's okay. Just fold the whole headrest down. And you do have dual mat pockets back here. And I'm not even going to try to jump in the third row. I know I'm not going to fit. It's going to be just a total pain. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that. So let's go and check out the trunk space. All right, so you do have a manual rear tailgate. So just press this release, and your tailgate goes right on up. And then once you get back here, you'll realize that behind the third row, you have almost no space. It is very, very comically low space. But if you were to fold the rear seats down, that's even how you do it. You fold the rear seats down. You just pull that up, and they fold completely flat, which is quite nice. And behind the second row, you do have a decent amount of rear seat room. You also do have a 12-volt power socket back here. You do have cup holders on the third row. But yeah, if you want to use this third row, it is very much only intended for kids, for short road trips. And yeah, and if you want to use the cargo area for decent activities, you are going to want to fold down these third row seats. And then back here you have all your manuals. I think Hertz actually just put that back there. And yeah, that's about it. So personally, would I buy this as a daily 3-row crossover? No. I would not choose this unless you absolutely have to. I would definitely pick a Toyota Highlander over this, a Ford Explorer, a Honda Pilot, pretty much anything I would pick over this car, because this car just feels so old and it really doesn't feel that up to date. So it's not that great. But if you are looking for something affordable on the used market, this may not be a horrible way to go. But with that being said, that is about it for this review. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I know my reviews are a little rusty after not doing them for 2 years because of COVID. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button down below, follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and I'll go and catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Of course, I have to do the traditional car review outro. Peace.